This podcast is produced by OnPod, a video content studio near you. Hi, welcome everyone. Today I am with Jeff. Jeff, thanks for coming.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, Jeremy. It's a pleasure, man.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about, what you do and how you, in a sense, help people. And I think it's a really cool way to do it, for sales and marketing and all this stuff. And so let's talk about the video sales page that you do. What is exactly a video sales page, and why do it?
Yeah. So video sales page or people use the term video sales letter. That's a very popular term, right? Where you have those like one-page websites, and it's a video sales letter. So you have a video, and then you have a letter that is designed to speaking to the prospect to inform them of what you do, the pains you solve, and how you can help. And I derived this concept, and I didn't necessarily invent it, right? I'm not reinventing the wheel, but how I came here is that when I was working as a sales rep, I had challenges, particularly in the early stages of the pipeline. So think of like pre-discovery call, discovery call, 1 or 2 meetings after that discovery call, where you have initially, one decision maker you talk to, and then they want to get other decision makers involved. And so I would just find myself in the situation where I would book meetings, after like a cold call or a warm call or email or something, get on the call. And despite me sending them information from our website, PDFs, sales decks, we'd start off the conversation and they'd be like, so what do you do? Who do you work with? What is this? And I'm like, oh my God, I got to start over. And although I was still able to progress that deal forward, there was just unnecessary friction, especially when they had to have others involved. So I'll give you the example where I spoke to one decision maker. They're like, great, I love this. Yeah, we have the budget. I like you. I like the product, but now I need to get, 2 other people involved. What do I send them, right?
Yeah.
And so after going through those challenges and that friction, I decided to create short form videos, and I templatized basically, like, we had 5 core challenges. And at the time I was selling to like enterprise, so it was colleges and universities. So it was usually a lot of chefs in the kitchen that I had to deal with. And so what I did was I then created these little videos, and then I would also sprinkle in social proof, because not only would I summarize, hey, this is the challenge, I would show how the technology solved it, but not just me solving it. I would refer to like, hey, here's Theo from Georgia State University, how he used it, or so-and-so from Harvard. And so it did 2 things at once. It showed them, this is how we can solve your challenge, but hey, don't take it from me. Listen to how others, right? And so I'll never forget that. I remember it was the second meeting. So I had the first meeting. One of the decision makers was like, great, love this. I need to get my team on board. And this one there were like at least 6 other people on the other side. Sometimes these can feel intimidating, right? You haven't met them yet. They're coming in for the first time. And so I remember I started off that second meeting. I said, hey, I sent you all some information, particularly the videos. Did you have a chance to view it? And not only did they say yes, they said, well, yes, we saw the videos. We like them. We have ideas on how your solution can not only help us in this department, but the other departments.
Yeah.
And so the conversation shifted from why do we need to do this to how can we work together? They already knew at a pretty granular level. Of course, they have questions, but it wasn't starting from scratch. It wasn't about a feature product. It was like, hey, we see that you can clearly help us. We see you're helping other schools, other divisions like us. We have some ideas. Pricing was also shared before, so they already knew the range. It wasn't like, is this going to be $2,200,000, $20 a month? Like, what are we dealing with here, right? And so essentially, long story short of answering your question, the video sales page is designed to answer 3 main questions. The first question is this for me, right? From the buyer's perspective, is this for me? Can this help me? Can this help my team? Can this help my company? That's the very first question that people want to get answers to before they even book a call or book a demo or whatever the case may be, right? They're busy. They're busy with their own job. Now they have to find solutions. Let's make that experience really easy through short text and short video. The second question they're going to have is, okay, what do they do exactly? What's the value they bring? Why can't we do this? What value do they bring that we can't do? How does it work, right? And then the third, last and certainly not least, is, have you worked with anyone like us? And what were the results? And the faster, my belief is the faster a salesperson or a vendor can answer those questions for prospects, the more likely the prospect is going to decide, yes, this is for me, let's go forward, and they understand they can make better use of those meetings moving forward. Or two, the other benefit is, okay, I understand what they do. You know what? It's not for me. I'm not going to go ahead and book the call and clog the person's pipeline. And now that salesperson is dealing with unfit leads.
Yeah, so you really shorten the sales cycle because you don't need to go through every single person and explain everything, right?
Hey, Jeremy, here's a 20+ page sales deck, heavy text, small text.
That's even worse.
Here's 5 links to the website. This talks about here. Oops, that link is broken. I didn't know that. Yeah, our marketing team's working on it.
No, you're right, because I've done this in the sense that somebody asked me, I usually send videos explaining about, let's say, the podcast, inviting people, and then they ask me for an episode. Right. So then I send another link for the episode. Well, everything could be on one page. Right?
Yeah. It's
more concise. And so why do you think B2B buyers responds better to videos?
Well, video.
And I mean, I know because I love video and I do video, but for the audience.
Yeah, it's just I mean, if you look at, I have posts that I put stats up, tons of posts last year, but the stats show the use and the consumption of short form video has only been going up, has only been on the rise.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's an element also of, and it's simple, and shout out to Beryl Solomon that reinforced this with me, is people buy from people, and it's so simple.
Yeah.
And the contract might say company A selling to selling to company B, but it's people that decide to make those decisions. And the closest thing to reality, the closest thing to sitting down with someone in person like we are, is through video. And sometimes there's a place for video and sometimes there's not. And that's why on the video sales page, we have both short text and videos, but particularly the videos, it shows the personality. And, whether you want to say unfortunately or fortunately, we don't vibe with everybody. So
that's very true.
There's discovery calls that I've been on, and I know in the first 2 minutes, I just sense the energy that this person does not like me for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's not going to work out.
But now that happens a lot less often because through my LinkedIn and through the videos on the sales page, they get to see me. So it's they get to know me at their own pace without me having to get on one-on-one calls. So that's at scale. The video, and many different use cases. So if you're service-based, obviously you're the person, you're the expert, right?
Mm-hmm.
2, if you have a product, you want to show at a high level. There's so many, I can't believe in this, this is, I guess why I do what I do, and how we help software companies too, is so many of their sites, it's book a demo. I'm why don't you have a 1 minute, just high level? Hey, you have these challenges? No problem. Let me show you in our software how you can do click, click, click and resolve.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you're not going to go in depth 20, 30 minutes of, a really in-depth demo. It's not there yet. They're at the early stage, meaning they're discovering, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why video is also super important and efficient and effective is that it reduces the time for prospects to learn what it is and if this is for them. So it allows from a personal perspective, let me get to know Jeff, let me get to know Jeremy, let me get to know Mike, Mary, and so on and so forth. Cool. Oh, I vibe with them. I like them, right? And also if you're speaking confidently, you're speaking with conviction, I mean, that carries weight too. Then on the other side, if it's a product, perfect. Showcase a little bit.
Yeah.
Standardize, scale, help your sales team save time. So that way when they get on the demo, it's an extended, in-depth discovery call
Yeah.
and really personalized demo where the prospect is like, oh, with our current vendor, they have this feature that we really like. Do you have something like that? Or, we have this situation and I saw in the demo that you touch on that, but do you have, so it becomes more effective. And then the other part to your answer is some people are just visual. Me, I'm visual. I'm a visual learner. Yes, I read. It's not like I don't read, but I do read, but I like videos so that when I go to websites, when I'm looking for solutions, that's also part of my prospecting. I go on websites, I LinkedIn chat the owner. Hey, by the way, I looked at your site. Why don't you have a video?
Yeah, exactly.
But I just find it's a really convenient way to get across information. And then also, last and certainly not least, which is something that I'm really proud of, one of our core services and concept are testimonials. You can write, even people, and it's unfortunate, I do know people that have faked testimonials.
Yeah.
But
there must be a million of those.
If you have, it's like, don't take it from the salesperson, don't take it from the company, don't take it from a vendor. Here's our clients. Look at the 3, 4, 5, 6 testimonials here. People like you, challenges, situations, just like you, and look at the results. And let it speak for itself.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things there. Like just on the same front of podcasting, when I kind of sell podcasting to people, it's like, while doing podcasting, you're building your personal brand and people see you. Let's say you're a realtor and you've never met that realtor before. You've chatted with him, but now you see him on his podcast talking about, I don't know, coffee or whatever he's talking about. But at least you met him. Like you almost met him in person. You can relate to him and you either like him or not, right? Because it's like there's a feeling to it.
Yeah.
Right. When you meet someone, you're like, okay, I like this person.
Yeah.
This person, I don't connect as well.
Yep.
Right. So I think video definitely does that. So you're definitely right on that. And same thing for the review or the testimonials. I have some that are written and they're real clients. They're on Google also, so it works.
Which is great, by the way. Amazing. Yep.
But yes, you're right. When you see somebody, an actual client talking about your space or your service, it's even better, right? And certainly the service feedback. Is there a big common mistake that people do when trying to sell through video?
Oh my God. Yes. Hi, in today's video, I'm going to spend the next 20 seconds of the beginning of the video to explain to you what the video is going to be about. You have 4 seconds to captivate an audience. Get to the point.
It's not easy.
Right? People they and this is something we know through our coaching and through our service. We also have a technology part to it as well that helps train them, coach them on their delivery, but specifically for short form. Right. So, one of the common mistakes is, and it's fine. I remember when I started doing video, those are the mistakes that I made. I would ramble and then I would spend the end of the video coming up with a conclusion. So that is how you just explained everything. It's all good. Less is more, short and sweet, right? Those expressions.
Yeah. And sometimes I do videos for client and I realize this was 10 minutes. I'm just going to redo it. And now I know what I need to say. It's just going to be 3 minutes,
Longer form video there is a time and place for it.
For sure.
But not when I'm looking for a solution. Okay. I'm not going to spend 20 minutes per vendor looking at, 20-minute video. No. But if you captivate me in the first 4 seconds and the next 20 seconds talk to me and the total is, 45 seconds, a minute or what have you. Okay. We do these little mental check boxes. Okay. All right. Check. Yeah. They're for me. They can help me. Okay, cool. And again, you're making it easier for someone to quickly determine if it's worth their time to further investigate. So I would say that's the number one mistake is people will overcomplicate, but it's also a lack of knowledge. They don't know the structure to how to convey a message. A lot of the times too, they are lacking outcome statements.
Like CTA kind of thing?
Call to action, that's different. Okay. But an outcome is for example, if I'm going to make a video about how to chop garlic without cutting my fingers, right? You may see people that will, what you don't want to do is don't give me the history on where you bought the garlic, the different types of garlic, how to break up the garlic. No. You're talking specifically about how to chop the piece of garlic without cutting your hand.
Yeah.
So you want to tie in the outcome. The outcome is how to avoid cutting your finger, right? So you'd start off saying, hey, if you have tried to cut garlic in the past and you are, you're tired of, cutting yourself, well, this video is for you. Boom. You mentioned the challenge. You mentioned the audience, who it's for. Oh yeah. You know what? I tell my girlfriend that I don't want to use the sharp knife because I'm always scared. Perfect. It's for them. Now they're going to watch the rest. Perfect. You jump straight into it. Yeah. Here's the methodology. Cha, 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 cha. Then you add some humor at the end and be like, listen, if you don't really want to go through that, just get a garlic press, So you tie it to the outcome.
Yeah.
And this is what buyers care about. It's less about the how. That's something else. Another mistake people, they go too much in the how, or they don't connect the how with the outcome. So what people care about is, I'm in this painful situation. I'm not driving enough leads. I'm not driving enough conversions to my site, or I'm not getting enough conversions from my site. Okay. There's 1.5 million ways on how to do that. Summarize quickly what the outcome is, because that's what people care about, right? I'm thirsty. I don't care if it's coconut water, alkaline water, if it's Swiss water. I need water. I have a challenge. No, I'm not thirsty enough. So it's really tying in and making sure that you're tying in the outcome, the desired outcome, which you'll get through research, through working with clients. What is their dream outcome? What do they want? And you really solidify that in your message. The other mistake, final one that I'll think of off the top of my head, is people will overcomplicate video. They will ask me, what should my background be? I'm like, and I joke around. Well, it's not really a joke. I tell them, as long as as long as in your background you don't have like your bathroom door open with your toilet or your like dirty laundry hanging in the background.
Exactly, yeah.
Plain what? Oh, I just have a plain wall behind me. Perfect. Because it's you that's going to be on the video. It's you that people are going to be listening to.
Message.
Right? Now, yes, there are some things you don't want too many moving things, but I mean, you look at all these people online with millions of views. They're outside. They're this. It's their message that counts, right? So stop overthinking. I had a call with someone the other day, and I realized we weren't a good fit because there were two. They were like, "Oh, I care about my branding." I'm like, "You're not getting leads in your funnel. You're not converting. That's your problem, not the way you look."
No, exactly. And people, like example, they come to the studio. A lot of people rent the studio, and some people will say, "Oh, I see a lot your studio. Like I see it often, and like we can change the colors and all that stuff." But sometimes people have that idea, like it's like I see it too much, but obviously they follow me, so obviously they see all my clients, But at the end of the day, if you're posting videos, you're ahead. On your 100%. Business, that's a start, right? So where you do it, professional setting or even on Zoom, it doesn't really matter. At least you're posting, you're creating content.
Yes.
What do you think about, I saw a sales video, basically, is for a marketing company. It was like, book a call with me. So you go to book a call and then there's a video there. And that video was very, very scripted. Like, the lines, like, if basically if we work together, if it's because I decided like we're a good fit, if it's not a good fit, like it's very salesy, because I think you kind of do interviews with people. You probably coach them, but you also do it naturally, like through conversation, I presume. Like,
so I love how you're saying this. So with the rise of AI, I'm actually going to post about this. Thanks for reminding me. There's companies like HeyGen and others.
Yeah, I've used it.
You provide a recording, whatever, how many minutes of video they need yourself, of someone, to recreate that that avatar.
Yeah.
And so you type in, whatever you want it to say.
Your text, and
you could take your client, and it sounds great. You take one of your clients too, and they're like, just write it out, and then you have this avatar
of yourself,
and they are getting better and better.
Yeah.
Like, we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Imagine what's going to be in 5-10 years from now, right? There's going to have to be some kind of stamp to say like this is human, or this there has to be, because it's getting so now. That there's a time and place for that. Meaning, you have an app of some sort, right?
Online course, maybe.
Yeah. and you need to support people across the world in 70 plus languages. Okay, what am I going to tell you? Hey, Jeremy, let's get on a recording. You're going to learn 69 or 67 other languages.
Impossible.
No, forget it.
No.
So that's good.
That's
They've
amazing.
already purchased. They're in your system. They don't care about so much about the person. It's really about the material. Now they're okay.
Yeah.
But when you are selling that first you need to sell yourself. And then one, I think that this whole, and again, yes, we use AI in our processes. There are certain processes and operations are great, but people are becoming lazy. Like that's a lazy and it's not authentic. Mm-hmm. You know, you have this, hi, my name is Jeff, and today I am going, it's just like, you can tell.
Yeah.
But then I ask questions, because I had this question asked to me the other day, a prospect who's now a client, and they said, hey, your video testimonial service, just wondering, like, do you actually interview our clients? And I, before answering, a little sales trick, you sometimes ask a question. I'm curious, why are you asking? They're like, well, you know, we checked out these other AI stuff, and like, we want to stay away from that. I'm like, perfect. That's why my title says authentic non-AI video testimonials. Yes, I'm going to meet your clients. I'm going to be there with them. I'm going to be directing. These are real stories with real people. And then I finish off and say, you know, with, again, all these AI video things, when you go get invited to a podcast, are they going to invite your AI avatar? When you get invited to a TEDx, are they going to invite your AI avatar? When you get invited to a conference to speak in front of people, are they going to invite your AI avatar? When you go to a meeting for a big client opportunity, are you going to fly in your AI avatar? No, they're going to want to see you.
Yeah.
And so by you not taking the lazy route, by you learning how to deliver with confidence, conviction, and preciseness, succinctly, you are improving your communication. You're going to improve your communication, not only for sales, but to motivate your team, talk to investors, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah. And I think people need to watch, like, because I use ChatGPT like widely. It's great. But you need to watch, like, if you're building a sales script, like, you need to make it yourself and change it, because it's too, like, this was written by AI while you said it, even it's not like if it's an avatar or not, but you feel it, like, you feel it. It's so salesy.
Yeah.
Another question I had quickly before we wrap up soon, basically, like, what kind of results do you see from these from people switching to video sales page?
Very, very good question. So we have several, two of which come immediate to mind. Is one of which is a founder CEO of a technology. You can put them in the B2B SaaS category. Mm-hmm. And they have a really, you know, what's good about them is they're niche down, so it's perfect. And for them, so the founder, the CEO, he goes to a lot of these conferences and he talks, which is great. But when it comes to his sales team, you know, those sellers don't have the knowledge that the founder has. This is also another use case here. So we captured the founder. We led with the founder because he has the expertise. Like he's a G. He knows all of this. So they're able to now use. So a use case for the video sales page is they are using it, one, in their outreach to clients by email. And in the email signature, instead of going to their general website, which they're not a fan of, and that's why they hired us. So they already had a website. They weren't happy with it, right? And they had to add the video component. Like, we don't know how to do this. So now when people click on the email signature, the prospects, they go to that page, right? Because that's the thing. That's also a behavior that people take when you send, especially cold emails out. Who's this person? You go to their LinkedIn. Oh, there's a link. They click on it. They click on the signature and then the link in the signature, the email, the address, the website, what have you, right? And then they're also taking these videos that we produced on the video sales page and then some others and sending those in emails. And what they're seeing is, the prospects are booking meetings, and it's I remember word for word. I just actually produced the testimonial from the client, Logan Campbell. Shout out to Logan Campbell, and shout out to Logan Campbell from Aerotas. He's using it, and he said, he's like, as much as I would love to get on 100 different phone calls a day, I can't. This is now, it scales his expertise, and his sales team can leverage that and use that in their outbound. And he said that it's helping to book get people in the pipeline, but also move them. And the last thing that he said in the testimonial was it provides the speed of which they can communicate what they do, how they do it, the value and
Yeah.
credibility
It's concentrated.
is so fast that it's hard to
Yeah.
do in any other way.
Yeah, because when you have the website, you have like all these pages, all these
Yep.
different things, the team, the this,
Yep.
the that, what we do, our service.
Yep.
And now it's like, okay, let's just put this in one page that
Yep.
makes a lot more sense.
Right.
And that gives you a better message. Like I use a lot of Loom videos or
Yes.
Komodo. And it's like, for me, it has been a game changer because
100%.
like I can't write all this.
No.
Like it's not gonna like. And then the people I sent messages to, they actually get to know me.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
video, as a real person.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of work. But sometimes I create like video that are more like that I'll send to everyone, like general videos, and then sometimes I do one per client. But yeah, this is huge, and it's a similar thing with the sales page.
Yeah.
But obviously more there's better concentration.
Yeah.
Right?
And then there's actually two. There's one more. I mean, there's so many, but there's another one that really popular. One of the groups, one of the niches that we work with are called fractional executives. So these are like CMOs, CSOs, so chief sales officers, chief marketing officers, chief revenue officers, chief technical officers, chief human resources. The list goes on and on. This is actually a popular trend. Fractional meaning, like for a company like mine, I can't afford to pay a experienced CTO $300,000 a year. But I have certain projects, well, I need expertise where I can fork out 5K, 10K, 15K to get something specifically done that will benefit our business. So fractional, they offer their C-suite expertise in a fractional way, right? On a part-time interim basis, what have you. Anyway, so for Andy Schober, who's a fractional CRO, shout out to Andy Schober. He uses his video sales page as a bridge between referrals. There's other use cases that he used but this is his primary one where, for example, there's a contact he knew at a company. That contact was the CFO. The CFO, although he's in the C-suite, he's not the decision maker on that specific on revenue sales related solutions. So the CFO asked Andy or told Andy, "Hey, Andy, I think your expertise can help us. I can make an intro to the CEO. What do I send?" So before, without us, he would have been like, "I don't know." Now he's like, "Perfect, send this." Sent the page. That went to the CEO. CEO and team watched it, booked a call, and now he's seeing it's more, but as previous months ago, he's seen at least a 1,500%, I kid you not, a 1,500% ROI. And these are people that sell high ticket items and that just need that help, but they want to put their best foot forward. They want to make the best impression. So again, instead of sending a long text, email, PDF, scattered, cool, no problem. This link, send them this link.
Yeah.
If they go on this page and they don't resonate, they're probably not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they are,
yeah, and I think video sales page, to finalize the conversation, I think it's great for a lot of use cases, like a CV, like it just like I don't want to like your CV tells me nothing. I don't care about your CV. Like, oh, you worked there and you went to school, cool, but who are you? Like, so the CV just, I think it's almost a dying trend,
Yeah,
it's like what do you even do with a CV?
No, and there's also other use cases. I'm talking to some other companies where their contract sizes are millions of dollars and their customer lifetime value, if they service the client well, they'll be with them pretty much forever.
Yeah.
So now we're being approached to, hey, we have this really big opportunity with this client. We're competing against 2 other vendors. We want to come in with, we want to make a splash. We want to make this really good impression. And so now we're creating the same concept of video sales page, but it's tailored to that specific.
Yeah, because you can tailor it to specific products. Like I could tailor it to book guests on my podcast. I could tailor it to, podcasting, different types of podcasting or video things or sell different things. So there's so many use cases.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's huge.
Yeah. And I want to go back on something you said before with the mistakes for video and the background. Like if you have something like this, use it. It's amazing, right?
For sure.
Like if you're going to give me the choice to have something like this versus a little corner in your room, obviously have this. My point was to not overthink the background.
Don't
If you don't have this, it's okay.
Yeah.
People aren't, believe it or not, there's another mistake. People are not going to watch it and be like, oh my God, Jim, did you see that guy's video? Like he did, his color wall was white. It wasn't as extravagant and polished as Jeremy, the other podcast. No, they're going to care about what you say and if you resonate with them. And that's
they're listening to the conversation and the people, right? And they connect to the people. Yeah. So anything you want to add to finish up the conversation? Where can we reach you? Obviously, we'll tag your stuff, on LinkedIn. But if not on LinkedIn,
Yeah, best place to reach me is LinkedIn because B2B that's our expertise.
That is the place.
We will be, we'll eventually we'll make an effort on Instagram and chit chat and blip chat or whatever else comes out in the near future. So many, YouTube, YouTube makes sense, obviously. Just as someone that started my business solo and that's in my second year now, I just had to prioritize and I just went with LinkedIn because I had an audience there and I'm like, well, not cold email, this, that. So so LinkedIn is the best place to reach out, engage with me. You can digest my content at your own pace. You get to learn more. You can feel free to reach out to me, connect with me. And
do you have example on LinkedIn or on the website about video, like example of video sales page?
Oh yeah. So if you go, on my LinkedIn profile, that's another thing we didn't get too much into, but how video can complement your acceptance rate.
Yeah.
So if you want to build your audience with an ideal client profile, well, you have kind of your background image is a cityscape. It's like that doesn't tell me anything. That's real estate for you to emphasize what you would in your hero section of your website, what you do, who you help, just who you help and what you do. Simple. Leonardo da Vinci once said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Yeah. So yes, I have examples on my featured section of our latest clients launching their video sales pages, and also how we're helping them with LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is also that intermediary video sales page, right?
Yeah.
So if people are on LinkedIn and they're struggling to grow their audience, well, if you put videos on your featured section, testimonials, you talking about your expertise, the person that gets the invite, they're not always just going to accept. They're going to go to your profile and be like, who is this person?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they really I have a business coach, and we went through my profile, my LinkedIn profile, and it's like, okay, you need your photo, you need a full face photo, things like that, because when people see the small photo, they might not they're like, do I connect with this person or not? Right, already there, and then they see your profile. There's all these little things that
man,
you don't think about, but it's so important.
Yeah, or the classic. The person putting their arm around someone and then they blank out. They can see it cutting up. Who did they not want to get involved in their photo?
That's so good. Yeah, I think that's it. If you don't got anything else to add to it, I think we're just gonna cut it there.
Yeah, no, this is great, man. This is dope, man. Time flies when we're having fun.
For sure. Thanks for coming again, and we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Bye.